Greetings gamers, WolfinZ here. If I had a nickel for every PlayStation 1 game that had a GameCube exclusive remake, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's strange that it happened twice. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes released in 2004 to generally positive reviews and decent sales. However, it was quickly overshadowed by a bigger fish, or should I say, a bigger boss. Twin Snakes was developed by Silicon Knights as a part of an exclusivity deal with Nintendo to bring M-rated games to the GameCube. In order to increase their appeal to the more hardcore gamers, Silicon Knights had no easy task of remaking one of the most beloved games of the previous generation. But somehow, Capcom had managed to pull it off a couple years earlier by remaking Resident Evil on the very same system. In fact, so many fans hold this remake in an even higher regard than the original. Surely Konami could pull it off too, right?
It's like one of my Japanese animes.
Twin Snakes released in March of 2004, and the game sales weren't great. They weren't horrible, but while it's easy to forget with how beloved the purple lunchbox is today, the GameCube was actually the laughingstock of the 6th generation. All of the older cousin Kyles of the world saw the GameCube as nothing more than a baby's toy, hopping to the Xbox and PS2 for their mature game fix. Even the Resident Evil remake, as beloved as it was, only sold 1.3 million units on the Cube, and didn't sell nearly as well as the entries on the PlayStation. It also didn't help that the best game in the series, the highly anticipated Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, was releasing on the more popular PlayStation 2, only 5 months after Twin Snakes.
How about you, Snake?
But as we all know, sales don't make a game good. If that was the case, that would mean that FIFA 18 is a better game than Grand Theft Auto 4. So how is Twin Snakes? When it was released, it received positive reviews from critics, who thought it was a fun spin on a classic. However, over time, fan opinion on the game has shifted to be more negative.
What are you doing? Don't think! Shoot!
With most of the criticism going towards the different soundtrack, re-recorded voice lines, and over-the-top cutscenes.
I forgot. Damn!
Some gamers love it, some hate it. In fact, a lot of gamers don't even know about this entry, believing it to simply be a port of Metal Gear Solid 2. So what do I think of the Twin Snakes? And what is it even about? Ultimately, Metal Gear is a story about family.
Ooh, got room for 2?
DNA and genes are a recurring theme in the series. The game stars the famous Solid Snake.
No, that is not Solid Snake!
My main character in Smash.
That's Wario's Snake. Watch out for Wario's bite. He also attacks by farting.
Snake is an ex-Foxhound member who was pulled out of retirement to stop a hostage situation in an Alaskan research base.
Liar! I already know that Metal Gear is nothing but a nuclear-equipped walking deathmobile. Nuclear?
By 2004, the original Metal Gear Solid was considered a classic, due to its incredible use of voice acting and its cinematic storytelling.
Some warped kind of love. Love? It's hate!
However, gaming technology was advancing at such a rapid pace that by the time Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, only 3 years later, the original looked like a dinosaur in comparison. And that's exactly why Twin Snakes was set to be a 6th gen update on the original MGS, using Metal Gear Solid 2's engine. What could go wrong? Most of the controversy surrounds several of Sons of Liberty's features being included, such as the ability to roll, hanging off of rails, and most infamous of them all, first-person aiming. I'm not against the first-person aiming. You know, I'm a little baby man who plays these games in easy, Most of the complaints about the inclusion of first-person aiming include that the fight with Revolver Ocelot is too easy.
What?
Additionally, the M9 Tranquilizer from Sons of Liberty has been added too, which you can use to perform non-lethal takedowns. I know some players like to go for a no-kill run, but I don't care about that. I'll snap a dude's neck while he's peeing. I'm evil.
Huh?
There are a few changes that I feel are objectively good. During the Sniper Wolf boss fight, Sniper Wolf the assassin, not the YouTuber,
I know where you live.
you don't have to backtrack as far as you did in the original game. You can grab a non-lethal tranq sniper as an alternative. The original also had an annoying part where you had to backtrack to different areas in order to change the temperature and shape of the keycards. Thankfully, the Twin Snakes includes an Easter egg where you can just skip that. In the original game, the torture scene with Revolver Ocelot was absolutely grueling.
When your life reaches zero, the game is over. There are no continues, my friend.
It usually took me 4 tries, and I felt like my thumb was gonna fall off due to all the button mashing.
Ocelot did it again. But I've got some bad news for you. You're no POW. You're a hostage. There's no Geneva Convention. No one is coming to save you. Starting to feel a little scared?
I'm a penis!
Okay, let's get started.
Thankfully in the Twin Snakes, it's much easier. And lastly, I like that the tranq gun lets you take down the wolves non-lethally. Snake is a dog trainer, and I don't think he has it in him to shoot down the wolves. The original voice cast returns, re-recording the entire script, which is good, because I can't imagine anyone else playing Revolver Ocelot, everyone's favorite gun-wielding catboy. The rumor goes that David Hayter, the voice of Solid Snake, gave up half of his salary to get the original crew back, which is pretty wholesome if true. For some reason, Otacon just comes off as more pathetic in this version, constantly tripping and screaming in agony.
Using science for peace? That's only in anime.
The voice actor for Gray Fox, Snake's cyborg ninja rival, has been replaced by Rob Paulson.
Who are you?
Neither enemy nor friend. I am back from a world where such words are meaningless.
Which is pretty confusing considering the original voice actor returned to play a different character in this very same game. I just can't take anything Gray Fox says seriously. I just can't help but picture Yakko Warner.
Here's a final present from Deep Throat.
Mei Ling and Naomi have also had their accents removed. I'm not entirely sure why.
By the way, sorry to disappoint you, but I did manage to smuggle out my smokes.
How did you do that?
In my stomach.
The cutscenes are over the top and ridiculous. You can tell the animators watched The Matrix and snorted a line of coke, because Snake is doing backflips all over the place. I kind of like this change though. The cinematics are very entertaining, it's like a cheesy action movie. If the original Metal Gear Solid is the equivalent to Escape from New York, then the Twin Snakes is the self-parody Escape from LA, but if the whole movie was the basketball scene. I will never get the hate this game receives from some of the more hardcore members of the MGS community. Sure, at the end of the day, the voice acting isn't the same, and the music isn't as good, but what we have here is still a pretty solid game. The original will always be there. It will always be Metal Gear Solid as intended, but the Twin Snakes is still pretty good. It deserves to be appreciated as its own thing, and it deserves to get re-released as part of the Master Collection. Anyways gamers, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I had a lot of fun talking about an underappreciated entry in one of my favorite game franchises. I would like to thank my friend Jace Yote for making this thumbnail. I've linked his Twitter in the description, go and check it out, he makes some great art. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, I've got plenty more videos coming in the future. Until next time, lovely people, rock on and wolf out.
When it's time to change, you won't know how. It won't matter years from now. No matter what you think or do or say, everything turns gray.